Preparing to stream. I always laugh because in Mercury retrograde, it's never just easy peasy, but for some reason it seems to be working for us. So this is good. This is good. I think we got it. All right. So I was referring before we started going on live and recording here that I use the Care Bear image because it's a beautiful way of kind of thinking about manifesting. And the Care Bears were kind of cool because they, at this point in the 80s, 90s, had it all dialed into a conscious collective level where if all of the Care Bears kind of got together with all of their feelings and all of their thoughts and they linked arms and they all really focused and just pointed their little rainbows out, it was like this full stream of thought, and it was so direct and it was so collective that it could go down all the way to earth from Care Bear Carolot all the way down into earth and affect children that really needed that boost of energy or really needed those feelings to kind of be able to get through some really tough situations. And I just thought that was really, really cool. And I almost thought of it as collective energy and where we're pointed, and it kind of almost helps me to dial in. Like I sort of joke about if my husband's a little grumpy, I'm like, oh, his grumpy bear's coming out there, and there's a little shooting of energy. I'm just gonna counteract that with my Carolot bear or my cheer bear or my whatever it is. The I kind of use the Care Bear energy every once in a while, just in a fun way to keep it light. Oh, it's a good thing I am streaming live because Mercury retrograde doesn't want to let me record for whatever reason today. You guys like the cameras too. I love it. So, one of the things with manifesting that's really cool is that if we almost thought about it in the realm of what kind of energy are we putting out there? How do we really feel about something? Do we really, when I ask someone how they feel about abundance and what their Care Bear representation would be of that, it's like in talking with people, and this is the really fun thing about coaching people, is that we have these conversations and I see them, it's like this abundance bear is coming out and it's like this full stream. But right away, it's this stream is starting to splay off a little bit in like, oh, the doubt bear comes in, or the incapable bear kind of comes up, and it's like that stream isn't direct. And so what happens is your manifestation can kind of go sideways, and it really shows us where the energy goes, the energy flows, right? So it's just a beautiful way to kind of think about it. And not only that, but if we can hold that intention, if we can hold that manifestation energy, if we can hold that, say, abundance energy for, Abraham Hicks always says 17 seconds. Care Bears, I don't know how long they had to do it, but it was like it had to kind of build up and pile up, and then all of a sudden it would start to kind of shoot there. So it's like holding that intention and recognizing how we're really feeling about something, even with relationships. This last 2022 year, the 6th year, was all about relationships and those things outside of ourselves that had a lot of effect on us. And this year, the 2023, the 7 year, is a lot about our spiritual selves, our spiritual soul's journey, and going inside and actually paying attention to what our reactions are and to what our feelings and thoughts are, and being self-responsible, not selfish, because a lot of people, we think, oh, it's all about me and that makes me feel kind of selfish, so I don't want to be selfish, so I'm going to continue to make everyone else happy. This year is really a lot about recognizing what in ourselves needs this sort of nurturing, or needs this attention. What is it with ourselves that we can be responsible for in how we're interacting with other people? And this is kind of what we learned over this last year. And one of the reasons this is really important is that going into next year, it's an 8 year, and that's about when manifestation and soul kind of come together, right? And so if we're not being self-responsible, if we hadn't done this work, we're then going to have these manifestations that again we're not going to be able to hang on to. So it was like all sort of feeding into each other, and it's just such a beautiful year to really be able to dial into our own soul's journey, our own soul's purpose, and really be able to focus on what it
Mm,
is that we need and that we can do to be able to be taking that time for ourselves, right? Like this year is going to be really good for things like reading, pulling out old books that have been on our shelf that we maybe had at one time. And I've noticed this already with a lot of people. They're like, "Oh, I pulled out this book again, and I read it before, but it's really different now. This year, it's like it's making more sense. It's making we're noticing things in those books that we never really noticed before. Or we're listening to courses again, or we're being kind of drawn back to things. Now, a really neat thing about this year as well, and this sort of cosmic time and everything that's going on cosmically, it brings us back about 18 years. And with the retrogrades and the particular retrogrades and the particular planetary alignments that are going on right now, bring us back to in about like March, April of 2005. So I'm just gonna throw you guys on mute just for the for the Facebook Live there. But by all means, if you want to say anything, you're more than welcome to pop off. Um, the time and the energy has kind of brought us back to about 2005, April, March, April, May, and so I want to invite you to look back to those times, back to that year. A lot of us had major things go on at that time that maybe kind of even knocked us off the timeline that we were on. Like we were on a pretty good path. We kind of had it sort of dialed in. We were, because, and cosmically, that's where we are again. So we kind of get almost this redo in a way. And last year, it was sort of going back to around that same time, 2004. So again, big shifts, but it's interesting how it kind of brings us back to that point in time. So kind of explore a little bit where you were at that point, the kind of things that happened, the kind of things that were going on just in your world, in your life that may possibly have really been in alignment with where you're kind of getting to go again, but in a different, oh, I love that, got pregnant. That's pretty wild. And does that ever change things, right? Like you were probably on a very, different path than what motherhood ends up bringing you down. And it's not good, bad, or ugly. It's just, it was a big shift in timelines for whatever reason. We get this opportunity to kind of go back and embrace some of those things when people are thinking, I don't know what I meant to do, or I don't know what my soul's purpose is. I don't know what my soul's journey is. At that time, we were often doing some things that were really creative and kind of cool and that made us happy. We might have been doing a sport that we really loved. We might have been doing a craft or art that we really loved. We might have been, I was in a band at the time, singing on stage. Like I loved that. I was doing tons of pottery, I was doing tons of stuff. My mom ended up actually dying right in that exact, like in February of that year. So it was like, boom, that really shifted things on a crazy different timeline. But I look back at the people I was hanging out with, the people that we were working with and working for, and those people have been jumping back into my field again. And they're now like, I think of a very good friend of mine, and we fell off because I was in trauma state. I wasn't on the same vibration. And it's funny, he's been popping back in. He's now like a multimillionaire, he's an entrepreneurial guider. Like it's crazy how things have totally shifted. And it's been really amazing to connect again, just like we never left each other. Like it was always kind of meant to be, but now I'm back in that vibration again. Almost like if you were say at a really big event, and say you were at, like, say Joe Dispenza's event, and you put up your hand at the right moment and he looks at you and picks you to come up on stage and talk or whatever, right? Your vibration is matching that vibration at the exact same time. And it can just be so magical that it can unlock doors like crazy. And that is why when we're doing things that we love, and when we're enjoying the things that we love, and that we're in that frequency of love and joy and appreciation, things can happen and manifest so quickly. So think back to the Care Bear scenario. It's said that when we really want something, all we really need to do is just kind of point in that direction. Just know that we want it. No conditions, no constrictions, no, just really wanting to do it. Like, just really just feeling that want to do it. I just want to do this. I just want to feel this. I just want to hold this thought in my energy right now, and just point it out there. And being able to point it without sort of spraying it around. If you think about it, if it was a machine gun, for example, and you were up there talking about how things are and how things, is your machine gun staring straight at the target? Is your Care Bear stare going exactly where you want it to? Or is it kind of waving around and shooting all the people in the meantime, right? Like, we have to really think about our energy and our manifestations, and what it is that we really want, and how we really feel about it. Because if there's even a small part of us that feels as though we don't deserve it, or feels as though we can't have it, or is even just focusing on the reality of the situation that's here yet, I really want this, but I don't have it's not in my, like, I really want to be super abundant, but I have nothing in my bank account. It's like, you're just shooting all over the place. So really kind of keeping the Care Bear stare in the back of your subconscious mind, I feel like will help us stay focused on, first of all, the mood, the feelings, the thoughts that we're having, and how we're retaining those thoughts, and how focused those thoughts are. Or are they kind of getting a little bit clouded and mucky by all the other things that are sort of pulling us away with those other thoughts? So that's why the Care Bears were on my, I wanted to explain that a little bit. So I'm sure people saw Care Bears and thought, what the heck? But they've just been, like, I don't know, downloaded into my head and just coming through really strong. And I always joke that I always try and emit as many unicorns and rainbows as I can for people. And I literally, like, when I'm doing energy work, it's like I'm shooting them over there to them. So this is just our little magic hack, a little magic button to be able to spread that energy how we want it. Even if we're feeling, you're around people that you maybe don't necessarily want to be around, you can kind of give them the Care Bear stare and see how they react to it, because they will react differently when your energy is different. And this is where that whole being self-responsible, I love it, having a strong correlation to symbolism of emotions. And anything, like, I feel like, rather than a machine gun, having the Care Bear sort of thought is just a lot more beautiful, and it's very palpable, right? Like, you can actually, it's colorful. You can kind of think of actually holding that intention and where it's going and what it's really saying to you. So we have some exciting times coming up, in that we started out this year in retrogrades, and we've been in retrograde season like crazy. Like, last year was crazy retrogrades. It would be like, we had, I think, like 6 planets in retrograde at once. We had all sorts of retrogrades popping in, popping out. Mercury was in and out 4 times. It's going to be in and out again another 4 times this year. Some of them are more spaced apart, like Venus going into retrograde in April. That only happens every 18 months. So it didn't even go into retrograde last year. But this last year had to kind of happen so that we are able to really finish all of that unpeeling of the onion, unpeeling of those layers. Because what it did, all those retrogrades, kind of brought us into the past a little bit, where we had to see some of these things. We had to see some of these patterns within ourselves, right? And so we're going to be, good evening, Nikki, welcome. we're going to be at a state from the end of January till April, probably 20th, 21st, I think is our next retrograde, where we're in a retrograde free zone. Hello. A retrograde free zone. We haven't had this in a really long time. So we're actually going to get the opportunity to be in a retrograde free zone where we're going to be able to notice, are we still bringing up past stuff? Are we still telling past stories at that point? Because if we are in a retrograde free zone and we're still kind of living in the past and we're still like, well, I really want a relationship, but the last one went really south bad. Like if we're really kind of thinking of these thoughts still, it's almost more of a patternistic thing. It's almost more of a like in our DNA at this point. It's very deep at this point. It's not just these cosmic influences. The cosmic influences are kind of like an enlightenment. It allows us to kind of know what's going on and why we're all kind of going through these same things at the same times. But it's a really good way to kind of check yourself and to know that, by, beginning of February, I think February 3rd, is when Mercury is finally out of retrograde for good. It starts January 18th to kind of stop the retrograde. It starts to go direct again, and by the beginning of February, like by February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, we are technically in that retrograde free zone. So we should be having a lot less of the past, the drudgery type stuff, the old lessons, the old like in your face, this is what we don't like. Because Mars retrograde that we had from, it started at around Halloween, like around October 31st, November 1st. Mars retrograde was really big because it was kind of like teaching us to sort of apply this responsible use of power rather than just, we're becoming empowered, but we can't shit on people. We're becoming like, there was a lot of growth that happened just from the end of October, November, December. There was a lot of growth in that we recognized things even about ourselves that we just didn't want to do anymore, that we didn't really maybe even like about ourselves anymore, where we were just like, ugh, it was almost a little tough to see for some of us. It was not an easy retrograde to go through because it brought up anger, it brought up frustrations, it brought up some feelings that were just kind of not really us. And the beauty of that was that they came up to show us that it's not really us anymore. We've shifted, we've grown, we went through this whole 6 year to learn all these lessons. And the fact that we were able to kind of sail through that year, maybe with some hard moments, but so on top of things now coming into 2023 is a real shift of energy. A lot of people are just like feeling almost like a bit of a breath of fresh air. They're not feeling so kind of dragged down by the past. They recognized a lot of things that just really didn't work for them anymore. But what we did is we shifted it. We didn't just keep accepting them and keep doing them. We went, you know what, this really doesn't feel good. I don't want to do this anymore. I really don't want to do this anymore. A lot of people had huge job changes. A lot of people had huge relationship changes, huge self-growth changes, like just really, really amazing shifts. And if it didn't happen then, it's kind of happening in these next few weeks as we just have these last bits of Mercury retrograde to kind of allow us to. Mercury retrograde's an interesting one because it's all about our communication and how we communicate with people. And so it's making us very aware of stopping and breathing for a moment before we respond to someone rather than just those knee-jerk reactions that we would often default to. It's allowing us to kind of step into who we really are and the kind of projections we really want to have going out to other people, and even really being clear on things. Like I found myself not responding right away to emails. If I was feeling a little bit off, I'd kind of take a moment and maybe even wait and kind of get back to them a little bit later when I was feeling different. And it was a whole completely different response than it would have been if I was a little bit charged up, or if I was, not kind of getting into my soul, into my heart, if I was just letting that logical brain just kind of, that ego mind kind of take over, right? Thanks for the comments, Nikki. It's beautiful. So yeah, so it helped us kind of refine the way we spoke to people, the way we communicated, and now it's kind of cool. I don't know if you guys have been sort of reading and noticed some of the same news stories that were coming out that I noticed, but there was a really big glitch in the computer of all the airlines, and it like shut down a whole bunch of airline like flights had to be canceled all over the board, and it was like there was some intense stuff that was going on computer wise, and I'm just in the background joking. I'm like, yep, that's Mercury retrograde for you. I wonder if the pilots believe in that, or I wonder if they understand how much the planets being in retrograde can really affect things. It was all the old outdated systems. It made them have to upgrade. Like they were kind of, I think, waiting for the right time to do it. And it was like, well, apparently it's now because everything just crashed. I don't ever remember that happening before. That was pretty wild. Um, and our bodies are kind of the same, right? Like it's these updated, these old patterns, these old systems that we operated on. We were kind of waiting for that right time. Well, that right time is now. So I thought tonight it would be really nice to be able to go into a meditation where we are really kind of focusing on our new identities, our new, the way we want to be operating, our new iOS system upgrade for 2023, because we're getting one, right? So, what if we spent a few minutes actually sort of imagining that, dialing it in a little bit? Because I think we know, right? Like we kind of know um, who we want to be per se, but what if we actually even put some words to it, right? What if we spent some time this year doing some retreats, maybe doing some self-reflective time, taking this time for ourselves? Because as I said, when we're going into the 8 year, it's about bringing the manifestation together with the soul, because that is when things are really like this year is all definitely about manifesting. It's all about the creation. But once we have it, once we're there, can we handle it? Can this system update keep up with where we're going? Because face it, I think we've all been feeling as though we're ready for things, and we're calling in things that we maybe never thought of before, maybe never called in before, as far as energies for abundance, for growth, for leadership, for being a professional, for being I want you guys to actually think about a few of the words, the things, the parts of your identity that you're ready to just kind of embrace this year, because this is our soul's journey. This is why we've been going through all of this. And like I said, if we go back 18 years to 2005, we were kind of getting there. We were already kind of halfway there. So we can step back into some of those parts, some of those fun things that we were doing. And if I were to ask you, if I just said, let's go do this right now, and it would be something you could be like, that's my jam. I can do that all day long. Like, let's go dancing right now. Let's go do some pottery right now. Yeah, I felt that like, it's like totally dancing. I felt that, Michelle. For me, it was like, my gardening, right? Like, yeah, like I was getting so excited that next month I'm going to be able to start pulling out my seeds again and start planting them inside and getting ready and start thinking about it again. It was just like, oh, that excitement, that feels so good. And really like thinking about um, getting back into my oils a little bit more. I mean, I've been in them, but I kind of yes, you know what? I was just thinking I need to get grounded. I'm just talking a mile a minute here. I'm gonna pull out my black spruce and do a little inhale here. Bring that frequency up. And I mean, a little trick using something like black spruce, something like rose, just literally you can feel your vibration just rising when you're using something like that, right? It's like on a frequency, on an energetic level, you can just feel it rise in your body. It's like your cells just respond to it so beautifully. So I always wipe it on the back of my neck, and I just like, oh, slather myself in it. have a bath after with them, whatever it might be. I'm really drawn to black spruce just because it has a frequency of like 555, so it brings you right up there. It's like super fast, higher than frankincense, and that's like an enlightening oil. That's like, God consciousness kind of oil. Some of those, and it comes, from this beautiful tree, and just gets you grounded almost instantly. So it's such a beautiful way to just kind of allow yourself. In the next couple of weeks, I've been really called to talk a lot more about, we're going to do some Kundalini meditation type of work next week with the new moon, and bringing it in. This one was black spruce that I absolutely love, that just raises your vibration. It's literally got a frequency of 555 when I tested it. Which is super high, because a lot of them, even like lavender and stuff like that, they're only in 100, 200s, like they're not super high, but some of them just resonate really high frequency wise. So I'm going to get into the Kundalini energy a little bit next week, and I've been writing a lot of stuff about, I'm actually wanting to do a little course on ADHD and meditation, and resetting the nervous system and things like this for more of the neurodivergent. So part of our meditation tonight is going to be getting into the body, getting into the mind and soul together, and actually imagining what it would feel like to sort of have some heaviness on each part of our body, almost like those lead blankets that you get when they do, say, a dental x-ray or something, and they lay that big heavy blanket on you. We're going to pretend that it's going on to our feet, and we're just moving it up our body, or even like a weighted blanket. If you happen to have a weighted blanket, go grab it now. And when we hop into the meditation, you can literally just inch it up your body, and you can actually feel it at the same time as it starts to help direct your nervous system to where we want it to go. Because one of the things I've recognized, especially working with a lot of ADHD clients, is that just hopping into a meditation isn't as easy. We feel it in our bodies sometimes. It's like this agitation, or this like, it's like this different frequency in different parts of our bodies that are sort of settled in. So we're going to just incorporate some of that tonight too. It's going to be really nice, but it's been a lot of fun. Things are just flowing for this year. Got lots of stuff planned for you guys. So I am hoping that we will be able to just move forward and just learn so much together. I'm feeling very grounded now, having my oil there. I'm slowing down the talk and ready to meditate. I think the last retrograde I wanted to talk about was Uranus, because what the Uranus retrograde really taught us was kind of how to put ourselves first. And this is what we are called to do this year. This is really what we're called to do this year, is to be able to put ourselves first. And by putting ourselves first, that means taking a little bit of time each day to do, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes of meditation. If you're too busy, they say then it should be more like an hour of meditation that you're doing, because we really do need to be able to slow things down, to get in touch with how we're feeling, get in touch with ourselves, and not just keep going and keep doing, right? Like actually really pay attention to what it is that we need ourselves. We're always expecting others to come save us. We're always expecting others to come and know what we need, even by just going outside of ourselves in any way, shape, or form. And our strongest form of communication is our intuition. It's our actions, but it's also our intuition, right? Our intuition is so strong. And when we can take just a few minutes and ask some of these questions, we do get these answers. They do come. And this year, our intuition is so peaked. Next year is even more so. So it's going to be like, this is like baby intuition, even though it's just huge. It's going to be even bigger. And so we're prepared for this so that we're ready to really embrace our soul's journey and to really listen to our intuition. we need to have these tools in place to be able to do so that we can carry on this path. Because I mean, we're here, we're showing up every day, we're waking up every day. We might as well literally make the absolute best out of it that we can, right? This is why we're here. So let's take a couple minutes and just get ourselves grounded, get ourselves into the beautiful energy of the identity that we are creating this year. We're going to allow soul, we're going to allow this connection. Soul is really, it's always in us. A lot of people, even with religions and that, think that it has to be coming from another source. We are part of that direct connectedness to source energy, which is what I feel like this big lesson is. We are a part of creator. We are creators in our own minds, and we are creating ripples all around us. And so by us being able to embrace our soul's journey, the amount of change that we can make in the world is just absolutely out of this world. Even just with the little people that we raised, even just with the smiles that we give people during the day, the energy, the one email that we didn't just sort of lash out, that we actually took time to respond, the ripples that ends up having are ripples that we'll never ever see the end of. They go so far, and we have such power inside of us. When we can take some of that power back and really realize who we're meant to be and how we're meant to be, and really follow our hearts, we can't go wrong. We really can't go wrong. So just as you are closing your eyes, I'd love you to just get as comfortable as you can. And we're going to imagine this identity that we're becoming, this, who is it that you see yourself as this next year or two, with this full-on manifestation power, this energy that we've been creating, this $1 million you, this professional leader, this, really have fun with this in the sandbox. Don't allow that resistance to come in and say, but I'm here, or it's not here yet. We're just going to play and really imagine what things could be like if you really put yourself first, if you really allowed yourself to take those moments during the day and, get focused from the minute you get out of bed, the moment that your alarm goes off, the moment that you wake up in the morning. How do you want your life to go? Do you want to be not racing to your phone right away? Do you want to have maybe some tools around to be able to just start diving into the energy that you want? Do you want to have your water ready there for you? Do you want to have a little lemon so that you can start alkalizing your body first thing in the morning? Do you want to have your vitamins and supplements ready to go? Do you want to be prepared for that day? This, this self that is going to need all of the nutrition, the health, all the things that you need, maybe a comfy bed, a comfortable comforter, a puppy, whatever it is that's going to make you happy in the morning, to be able to just kind of go throughout your day. And, picture yourself kind of walking around as this identity that you're creating, not the identity that we are right now, but this identity that we're creating, this one that's not struggling, this one that's not feeling as though things need to be different so that we can actually get there. A lot of people feel like, well, once I have that money, then I can get there. But there's ways we can be there right now. And I want you to just imagine, even if you did have that money, who would you be? What would you be? What would be different? What would you be doing with it? Imagine just being able to actually do what you want. I just want to be able to help people that, maybe don't have the funds, or to be able to actually donate some of my time. I love being able to volunteer. I love being able to help people. But to get there, being abundant so that everything else is kind of taken care of first, is just that sort of in between space that we get to move through and work through right now. When we know that end result of just being able to actually, say, travel to a third world country and have enough abundance to be able to just make a difference and not have to worry about anything more than I can ever imagine, so that I can just spread it around and make this difference for people. That's amazing. Maybe it's teaching people how to do certain things. Maybe it's doing treatments on people. Maybe it's playing a sport again. Maybe it's getting your body healed so that you can actually do a sport that you really wanted to do. Maybe it was a sport that you were doing, but since having kids and since our balance is a little bit off, maybe it's just you can see yourself actually doing that sport. You can see yourself doing some of these things, these balance exercises, this person that commits to that every day, this person that is committing to themselves. What would you call a person like that? How would you phrase that, name that? I want you to just envision who you are becoming, this great teacher, this great medicine healer, this great sharer, this great shaman. This professional keeps coming up into my head. Just this pro, just being a pro, not doubting anything, just being a pro, this soul's journey that we're on that's bringing us towards this and this beautiful self-reflection. And I just want you to hold that in your intentions, in your Care Bear stare, all the intentions of all of the beautiful feelings and thoughts that you could emit and share out beyond the world, the healing that you could do. Because we're all healers in our own way, I feel. My ears are starting to ring and I'm starting to get some beautiful frequency shifts here as you guys all drop into the field with me. So I want us to take a moment and get connected to our breath. And I want you to notice the belly breath that's occurring. And as you get to the top of your breath, I want you to breathe in to the top of your breath. And then I want you to take a deep breath on top of that. I want you to actually breathe in some more. And as you breathe out, you're just going to relax every muscle in your body. Releasing your belly, allowing it to just deflate. And again, I want you to take a nice deep breath in as far as you can. And then take an extended deep breath, just like another nice, just little push deep breath at the end. And then relaxing it, releasing the shoulders, letting your shoulders just roll back, let your neck extend. And I want you to imagine right now that your feet, your bum, whatever is touching the ground, whatever is connected with a surface right now, I want you to pretend that there's little tiny roots starting to branch out of those areas. My hands are starting to tingle, so I'm just going to send some of this energy out to you guys. And the Matrix Energetics has this beautiful frequency 21, that's this white light with these golden, almost like strands and dots in between, like a beautiful Merkaba. I want you to just imagine this light energy, this white, light, golden stranded, threaded energy coming all around you in the most beautiful big Merkaba, this most beautiful big circle, just surrounding you, protecting you from all negative energies, and just cleansing, transmuting, healing anything in your field that just needs to be shifted and washed away right now. Anything from the year 2022, any of those layers that have unfolded, just allowing those to all be cleansed and cleared, transmuted into wisdom, brought into your system in the most beautiful way. And just literally anything that isn't serving anymore will be dissipated by this gorgeous white light. So just imagine this all around your body, almost like your body is attracting this beautiful white light. And as you breathe in, you're absorbing this white light with these little golden threads. It's just starting to come in to recode your body in the most beautiful way. And as you imagine these roots from the bottom of your body going down into the earth, I want you to imagine what it would sound like to have these roots starting to branch out from your body. And imagine what it would sound like as it irrigated themselves down through the earth. Almost like you can hear the earth separating and moving as these roots are growing, almost as though it would sound like sand if you had your head underneath the water at the beach. This sound of roots growing down deep into Mother Earth and just connecting with her beautiful energy and allowing your roots to start to absorb and infuse the crystalline energy from the core of the earth as those roots just stretch down hundreds of feet like they're seeking water, and they're seeking this crystalline energy that's starting to be transmuted into them. And as your roots absorb this beautiful energy, I want you to imagine it pumping and priming up those roots right into your feet, right into your bottom, right into your legs. And as it does, I want you to picture your feet getting heavy, almost like a heavy blanket is being placed over them on every cell, connecting with this human form that we were brought into, this human body. Isn't it amazing that this human body is ours? We have this human body for a reason, whether it's functioning, whether it's not functioning so well. Maybe it's missing parts, maybe it's got parts that don't work so good, but it's yours and it's your vessel. And the soul is like the beautiful light that just sits inside this vessel, that's here to guide you, that's here to show you how beautiful life can be and how beautiful your life is in this vessel. You would not have learned the lessons that you've gotten had you not had this particular vessel. We chose this particular skin suit per se, this cellular makeup, this bag of cells, as people call it sometimes, for a reason. It's in the area that it's in the country that it's in the community that it's in for a reason. It may not have always been easy. You may have always wanted to change it, but know that there are certain things that you can change about it, and your soul is there to help you. So when you find yourself mistreating your body, when you find yourself ignoring or being complacent about your body, I want you to ask your soul right now to give you a little sign or a little symbol. Perhaps it will show you a crystal that you need to have. Perhaps you'll hear the words of a certain oil or flower or tree. Perhaps you'll feel a certain way. You just felt something in your body. I just got dizzy all of a sudden. Ask for a little sign from the body to remind you to take care of yourself, to remind you to connect with soul on a level that's so deep and so connected. Cosmically, we're able to see this so much easier right now. So these thoughts, these symbols, these words, these feelings, a song. Felt someone just get a song in their head. Stop in the name of love, whatever it might be. I want you to just imagine what the superconscious, what your soul is telling you right now, can be a little reminder to get you back on track, to take those few breaths, to take that moment for yourself. And I want you to imagine those roots continuing to draw this energy up as your feet and your legs get heavier, feeling as though there's a heavy blanket being placed over every cell of your feet, your lower legs, your knees. As that energy starts to fill every cell of your body, imagine your legs just getting heavy. moving up into your thighs, that heaviness continuing, that beautiful, connected, grounded feeling like you're being drawn into and of the earth with this beautiful energy. Almost feeling like you can't even feel the bottom half of your body anymore. I want you to imagine that light starting to move up through your pelvis, through your pelvic floor, healing any of those areas, healing some of those energy centers, healing some of the actual physical damage, the emotional damage, the trauma. Allowing this beautiful earth energy to move up in this healing way, coating every cell of your root chakra, covering it in beautiful red light as it just forms this beautiful glow inside as it moves up into your lower back, into your sacral plexus. That orange sunset-y kind of a feeling, kind of a color. Imagine that orange color just dissipating and moving through your whole low back and your stomach. As it's almost like sunshine moving into your belly as your solar plexus starts to take on some of this Earth's energy, this Earth's vibration, and imagine it feeling heavy. Imagine it feeling coated and covered and hugged and encompassed. Every cell of your whole belly. Healing, cleaning, clearing, transmuting all those things that took our breath away. All those traumas that felt like a punch in the gut. We're just allowing all of those to be healed by the Earth's energy, by the fields in the matrix energetics fields, by the frequencies that we're calling in. This gorgeous white healing light. And allow that to move up into your chest as you take a nice deep breath. And breathing out and just releasing anything that's not serving anymore to be transmuted by that white light. Allow the green color of the heart chakra to just expand in your chest, emanating down into your shoulders, any areas that are sore, any areas that feel discomfort, your whole spine, your whole upper and mid back. Allowing this light to just move through your body, just imagining it right now. Getting that extra push from Earth's core all the way up from the roots of your feet. And allowing that light to expand all the way down to each fingertip until it's almost shooting out of your fingertips. You're slowly becoming this light being. Beautiful colors inside. Notice the colors that are calling out to you. Notice the kinds of green, the shades of green that are starting to move into blue and move up into the throat chakra, allowing us to speak our true soul's purpose, our true soul's journey. Allowing that to move up into our ears where we're hearing things on a different level. Allowing it to move up into our eyes where we're seeing things on a different level. And tapping into the beautiful indigo purple light of our third eye, I want you to focus all of your attention between your eyes right now into that eyebrow, into that area of your forehead where you are seeing things that you've never seen before. This year is going to allow this third eye to expand in ways you've never experienced before. It's going to allow you to see things on a different level. It's going to allow you to tap into your intuition, the things you really need to see so clearly. And it's going to just be able to help you shift. It's going to be easier to let things go than it ever has. All of the feeling bad, all of the guilt, the shame, it's all literally being released from the body right now, and let that go in a nice receiving breath, breathing in and breathing out, releasing any of those old patterns from last year. They don't fit anymore in this soul's journey. And now I want you to imagine as you're breathing, you're drawing that breath up all the way from the feet, and it's coming all the way up your body. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine it coming out of the top of your head, allowing the gorgeous white light of the crown chakra to just expand. Allow that breath to be released from the top of your head, pushing anything out of the body that does not serve it anymore. Truly being ready to let go. And I want you to make the choice to let go of some of these patterns that have no longer been serving you. Perhaps you might feel discomfort in a certain area of your body right now. Breathe into that area. Let the light expand into those areas. Let it expand into maybe some of those injuries that have been creeping back up, into some of those pains that have been creeping back in. Picture the heavy blanket coming up over your belly and over your chest and shoulders. Imagine the relaxation of almost not being able to feel your body anymore. Allowing your body to expand into your soul until you feel it growing and growing. And I want you to imagine right now that you are starting to walk down a path, down a beautiful green path. We're somewhere green, we're somewhere where it's just beautiful. Maybe it's a retreat that we're on, or a mini vacation somewhere. You're in a forest and you're just absorbing all of the energy of nature around you. I want you to imagine some of the colors of green that you might see right now, some of the smells that you might smell right now. Imagine walking, floating, moving through this path until you see a small fork in the road. A small fork in the path. There's the path that you probably tended to go down before, and it feels more comfortable. And I want you to look at this new path, this one that maybe is even overgrown a little bit, but you can see that it's there. You may even know that you've been there before. Notice if there's a spirit animal, a little animal that might be on that path guiding you, showing you the way to come, showing you the way to go. And allowing yourself to just float down this new path. Down this path that is ready and just waiting for you. And as you follow and notice the little animals and hear the sounds and smell all of the beautiful smells down this path, I want you to notice that there's this tree, this huge, maybe oak tree, mangrove tree, this beautiful tree that looks as though it has a door, and it's very intriguing. And I just want you to imagine yourself going towards this tree, going towards this door that is so clearly there now. It actually has a doorknob, maybe gold in color. However you see it is exactly how it's supposed to be. It may even be that it's kind of like a hobbit house that's just in the hills. It may be such a big tree that this door is just massive and you can just open it up and go right in. And as you open this door, notice that on the walls of this room that's inside of this tree has frames on it. It has pictures. It has pictures of your soul's journey. It has pictures of the things that you will create in your life. It has pictures of you doing the things that you love. It has pictures of you from 2005 in the body that you were in, doing some of the things that you were doing before the timeline shifted. I want you to look at one of those pictures right now, and it's something that you just love doing. Just, you could do it all day long without ever even feeling like you want to stop. And something where you've said, time just flies when I do this. Getting lost in something that you're enjoying it so much. There's a picture of that on the wall. There's a picture of some of the happiest moments of your life on that wall. They may be past, they may be present, they may be future. But these picture frames contain the happiest times of your life. And the one thing that you have in common with all these photos is just a big smile. Laughter, even light in your eyes, a sparkle. You might see people in these photos, you might see things that you've done. Vacation keeps popping in. Have you taken the time to do that? Hugging, your arms are around a lot of people. And as you look in this room, you actually notice that at the back of that room, there's another door. So I want you to just walk towards that door and notice that it has another beautiful ornate doorknob on it. And you're just going to open that door. You're just going to reach down with absolute ease and open that door. And behind that door is the most beautiful little meeting place. It's got this little area for you to gather. It looks like you're meeting someone. There's 2 little seats, might be big chairs. Imagine 2 chairs or 2 pillows, a blanket with 2 spots. I want you to go take your place in one of these spots. And as you sit down, I want you to just feel your body start to get excited. Feel yourself lighten. Feel yourself connect with the energy of the earth, amplifying every cell of your body. As you wait in anticipation and ask your soul to show itself to you, to join you in this other seat. And just let your mind go imagine what soul looks like. Is it your truer, higher self? Is it you in a year or two, coming directly from source? Or is it something different? Is it perhaps a man or a woman? Does it have a being around it? Does it have an image around it? If you were to picture your soul, what would it look like? Could be something familiar. It could be your heart. It could be an image. It could be a symbol. For absolutely everyone, it's different. And I want you to just ask your superconscious field. I want you to ask all the divine energies. And I want you to ask yourself to choose to see your soul in front of you right now. It may even be an animal I'm seeing. A representation of nature all in one. And pay attention to the things that you're being shown. I see a baby. See all sorts of things. Just pay attention. You may not know what it means right now. This is just meant for you to notice. The field loves to drip in these images that we need to see, feel, or learn. And it will mean something to you. You just may not know it yet. And I want you to ask a question, something you've been pondering, something you've been wondering, something you've been wanting guidance on. Something rather specific. It could be What is my soul's journey? What am I meant to do? And just allow those answers to come, not from the logical mind, but from your soul that's in front of you right now, ready to communicate in every way. Just allow the answers to come. If they don't come right now, they will, because you're asking these questions in the most beautiful way. You can ask if there's something specific that you're meant for, something specific that you're struggling with. What do I need to do to just be happy? What is it that I need to do to truly know myself? What could I do this year to get in touch with my intuition more and more? Spend a moment with soul, asking any questions you need to ask in this beautiful space. And notice now that the soul is actually always with you. It came so easily. It's a part of you. And I want you to imagine now, as you're just taking a few nice deep breaths, that your soul is integrating into every part of yourself as you make this choice to be this conscious creator, to be in charge of your emotions, to be respectful of your soul, your spirit, your body, your mind, and even ask how you can best do this. Right now, take a moment to just appreciate the fact that you're here, that you woke up today, that you're on this soul's journey, that you have come so far. The growth that you have had is amazing, and it is just only going to get better. And you can ask soul, what's one thing that I could do to amplify my life, my journey, my soul's purpose? Being kind and being gentle and caring to yourself, truly embracing the self-love, the self-growth that you've had over the last year, and just amplifying that even more. Ask for just one thing that you could do this month. And in this moment, if there's anything else you're wanting to connect on, ask, get guidance with, just ask the questions for fun and see what kind of questions soul answers you. And when you're ready, I want you to just extend your arms and imagine that you're just inviting soul into your heart. And as you can almost imagine the soul integrating into your heart space, imagine your Care Bear energy, your intentions, your true thoughts and feelings, and what you really want, what you're really ready to embrace and expand on in your life. Imagine standing up and going back out through the door, carrying soul with you, looking at this beautiful room of pictures, and notice if anything has changed, if there's maybe some other pictures that are on there that weren't there before, some images that you haven't seen before. Taking a moment to just peruse and look at those beautiful photos on the wall. You're taking soul with you on this journey now and leaving this beautiful tree, this room, knowing you can go back there at any time. If you're not feeling connected, you can go into that place. Connect with soul. It's the inviting place where it knows where to meet you all the time. Your own secret meeting spot of soul. And imagine stepping out of that tree and onto the ground. And as your feet touch the ground, I want you to just wiggle your toes. Coming back to your own etherical body, fully integrated with your soul's journey and with soul being protecting and guiding you at all times. Take a nice receiving breath. And when you're ready, you can just come on back to me. My hands are still super hot, so I'm just going to continue letting this energy move through my hands to your hearts. And allow yourself tonight to be able to cleanse, purify, do a little grounding. Baths are always so beautiful after doing a meditation. Allowing that to move through. Eat some good food, like some veggies, some high frequency food. Protein will sort of lower that vibration a little bit, depending on how much more intuition you want to tap through tonight. Staying with those sort of higher frequency foods. I know I've gone through some of those before with you guys with alkaline and ash, alkaline and acidic ash. Trying to stay with some pure stuff. Feed your body and your soul as they are one. Get some water, perhaps even a tiny little bit of salt in the water, I'm being told. Allow things to move through the body. Just a pinch of sea salt, a tiny little pinch. Or have your bath with some sea salt in it. A good quarter cup of sea salt in a bath is just amazing. Draw up a nice hot bath, as hot as you can handle, and then as you are coming out of the bath, allow the drain to empty first, just emptying that tub and getting out a purely refreshed, connected soul. Oh, there's some healing going on in the heart right now. My heart finger, my ring finger is very itchy on that feminine side. So just allow any emotions. It's been a very emotional, there's been sun flares, there's been a full moon, there's been all sorts of stuff going on. So allow any of those emotions that come up over the next couple of days to really just release. Don't stop yourself from crying. Allow it to happen. Allow that energy to move through. I hope that was pleasurable for you guys. I hope that you were able to get into a state where you got some nice messages from soul. I'm going to stop the Facebook Live just so that If anybody wants to share, you are welcome to. So thank you, Facebook World, for being there. I will go check in on messages there. I didn't have them pulled up at the time, so I'll be sure to check on in.